Good morning, children. Welcome to our class. Today we will begin the next lesson, that is Unit 4, The Wonder Years, Section 1, Reading Swami and Friends, written by R.K. Narayan of your Part B, Oxford Inc. Children, let us first read about a very famous author, R.K. Narayan. R.K. Narayan is among the best known and most widely read Indian novelists who wrote in English. He was born in Madras, South India in 1906 and educated there at Maharaja's College in Mysore. His first novel, Swami and Friends, and its successor, The Bachelor of Arts, are both set in the enchanting fictional territory of Malgudi. Most of Narayan's work, starting with his first novel, Swami and Friends, written in the year 1935, captures many Indian traits while retaining a unique identity of its own. In 1958, Narayan's work, The Guide, won him the National Prize of the Indian Literary Academy, his country's highest literary honor. In addition to his novels, Narayan has authored 5 collections of short stories, including A Horse and Two Goats, Malgudi Days, and Under the Banyan Tree, 2 travel books, 2 volumes of essays, a volume of memoirs, and the retold legends, gods, demons, and others, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. In 1980, he was awarded the A.C. Benson Medal by the Royal Society of Literature, and in 1982, he was made an honorary member of the American Academy and Institute of Arts and Letters. Children, he completed his education in 1930. Before becoming a writer, he worked as a teacher. His first novel, Swami and Friends, is an episodic narrative recounting the adventures of a group of schoolboys. He, through his books, portrays the peculiarities of human relationships and the ironies of Indian daily life. Children, now let us come to page number 130 of your textbook, section 1, Reading Swami and Friends. Children, this particular section is in the form of a book review. Now, let me first tell you what a book review is. Children, a book review is a kind of a short essay expressing the writer's opinion about a book that he or she has read. It is a brief synopsis, or you can call it a feedback. The purpose of a book review is to analyze, evaluate, and express one's personal opinion on the quality of the book for the purpose of guiding others who may be interested in the book and not sure whether they should read it or not. It has a synopsis and an overall review. Children, this lesson, Reading Swami and Friends, deal with R.K. Narayan's book Swami and Friends, published in the year 1935. It has fictitious settings and characters, or you can call imaginary settings and imaginary characters. Even the name of the place is fictitious. The main character, that is Swaminathan, who grows up in a fictitious town called Malgudi. The story dates back to 1930s, but the experiences are not different from the ones of the present days. Children, when we will read it, you can relate yourself with Swami and his friends in matters of their adventures and activities. Children, let me give you a brief insight of the novel Swami and his friends. Swami and his friends is the story of the friendship between Swaminathan, the main character, and his 4 childhood friends, and also a new boy named Rajam. It takes place in British colonial India in the year 1930. The story begins by introducing Swaminathan and his friends Somu, Sankar, Mani, and P. Swami talks about how different all of his friends are from one another and how their differences actually make their friendship stronger. So let us now read the lesson. You can see there's a quote mentioned below the heading. You grow up so fast in high school. It's not something you wait for. It just kind of happens. One day you look back and be proud of who you have become, but at the same time you'll miss who you were. That's what young Swaminathan, the principal character in R.K. Narayan's novel Swami and Friends, discovers as he engages in the process of growing up in the fictional town of Malgudi. Though his story is set in a period far removed from our day, way back in the 1930s, his experiences are not too different from those of young people in many parts of India today. To check if this is a book you would like to read, go through the book review given below. The title of the book, Swami and Friends. Children, here you can see how a book review is written in which format. Author R.K. Narayan, first published 1935, genre is fiction. Publisher is Indian Thought Publications. Page extent 216 pages, and the cost, that is the price of the book, is 130 rupee. Rating 4.5 out of 5. It was Monday morning. Swaminathan was reluctant to open his eyes. He considered Monday specially unpleasant in the calendar. After the delicious freedom of Saturday and Sunday, it was difficult to get into the Monday mood. The opening lines of the book Swami and Friends use the time tested hook dislike of Monday mornings to reel in children and adults alike. The book transports us to a fictitious town called Malgudi in South India and takes us through a year in Swami's life as he makes new friends, fights with some old ones, makes many mistakes, runs away from two schools and home, breaks his friend's heart, and eventually comes to terms with the different situations in his life. Swami was reluctant, unwilling to wake up on a Monday morning, as he dreaded to face the school teacher, the headmaster, for he has not completed his homework. For the fear of being punished, he doesn't want to go to school. The opening scene establishes Swami's character as youthful and self centered, with only childish concerns like finishing the homework on time. Children, now come to page number 131 and let us now read the synopsis. Synopsis, children, is your summary. Alright? So the story follows the life and activities of Swami and his friends. Each chapter of the book is a complete episode. The book begins with Swami's life in Albert Mission School's first form, that is grade 1, section A. He has four good friends: Somu, the class monitor; Towering Money, towering means huge and tall money, who monopolizes the last bench. He claims for oneself he is dominating and he loves to be the backbencher. Shankar, the most brilliant boy of the class, and Samuel, also known as P because of his diminutive size. Because he was very short, so he was known as P because of his height. When the new boy in their class, Rajam, befriends Mani and Swami, it creates a rift in the gang. Rift means a split in the gang. But Rajam diffuses the situation by making peace offerings to all. Annual examinations and the summer holidays go by. The gang moves on to the next class with the exception of Somu. Shankar and his family move away from Malgudi. One day, outside the school gates, Swami joins a protest mob and breaks a pane of the ventilator in the headmaster's office. The following day, when the headmaster punishes him for his actions, Swami gathers his things and rushes out vowing never to return to Albert Mission School. A few days later, Swami's father enrolls him in Board High School. Shortly after this, Rajam, Swami, and Mani gather their friends and form a cricket team, the Malgudi Cricket Club or MCC. The MCC challenges a neighboring club, the Youth Men's Union YMU, to a friendly match, and its members vow to practice every day. To make it to the practice sessions on time, Swami bunks scouting and drill classes in his new school. The result is a direct conflict with the headmaster and his cane. This time, Swami runs away not just from his school but his home as well. What becomes of Swami? Will he return to help his friends win the match against YMU? Will Rajam and Mani continue to be his friends? Read the book to find out. Children, the synopsis in this lesson follows the activities of Swami and his friends. Every chapter of the book is a complete episode in itself. As we just now read at the beginning of the book, Swami's life in Albert Mission School is talked about, where he was studying in first form, section A, that is grade 1, section A. We also came to know about four good friends of his, that is Somu, who was the class monitor, Mani, who was a monopolizer. He always sat on the last bench. His third friend was Shankar, the most intelligent boy of the class, and he also was friends with Samuel, who was known as P because he was short heighted. It so happened that a new boy joined the class. His name was Rajam, who makes Mani and Swami his friends. It creates a split in their friendship with his other friends, but Rajam brings the situation normal by offering peace to all. He also talked about the annual examination and summer holidays. Swami's entire gang is promoted to the next class except Somu, while Shankar and his family moved away from Malgudi. We are later told that Swami also joins a protest mob where he is then punished by the headmaster for his actions. Swami runs away from Albert Mission School and then joins Bodh High School. Swami and his friends also formed the MCC and challenged the neighboring club, that is the Youth Men's Union Club YMU, to have a friendly match with them. To practice for the cricket match, Swami bunks scouting and drill classes at school. It results in a direct conflict with the headmaster, and he is also caned with a stick. After all this, Swami not only ran away from the school this time but also from his home. Children, now let us read the review. Life for a child in the 1930s was simpler, devoid as it was of gadgets, technology, and malls. Devoid, children, here it means lacking or free from something. So that time the children do not have the electronical gadgets. Alright, there were no malls. Children in those days spent time making paper boats, plucking fruits from trees, basking by the riverside watching the sunset, listening to stories told by the grandmothers, or forming sports clubs. This was a time when life was uninterrupted by the constant pinging of cell phones, when friends walked up to each other's houses or stood outside and whistled to signal to their friends to come out of their houses. This is Swami's life. The review elaborates the life of a child in 1930s, how he was physically and mentally strong by remaining in nature and engaging in outdoor sports and activities, which is a complete contrast with today's life of a child, which is spent with technology and in malls. So, children, here is all about Swami and his friends, the book review. We would be meeting again in our next video with the remaining part of the lesson. Till then, take care of yourself. Thank you for watching the video.